All right, my friends. Last time on the Shadows of Greyhawk, the party found themselves at the shattered ruins of the old observatory on a tip that the bones of Alistor Land's kin had been borrowed by a necromancer lairing within. Now, they used stealth and cunning. They infiltrated the ruined lookout, encountering skeletal sentries, an undead dinner party, and all manner of necromantic offense, eventually confronting the unhinged mastermind himself. And when the smoke cleared, the necromancer Filge lay beaten and cowering. Now, besting the necromancer, the party put the screws to the man, pressing him on his nefarious activities and the location of the land's family remains. So pressed by intimidation and threat, he spilled his secrets of grave robbing, reanimation, unsanctioned experimentation, and the like, of the Ebon Triad, a cult now festering beneath the Dowerstone mine, of a strange and creeping prophecy called the Age of Worms, and how Filge had come to Diamond Lake to aid his colleague Balabar Smank, a local mine owner and shrewd, I guess you might say, business person. Filge told the party of a withering green worm stolen from Dowerstone's depths, a thing not of this world, but connected to a coming age of rot and ruin. Answers, he asserted, lay beneath the Dowerstone mine. And by the grace of Heronius, maybe Weejas, the party let him live. And at the cost of a modest bribe and a tenuous alliance, and Filge's promise to discontinue his necromantic investigations, the party left and made haste to the Land family's cemetery, where they laid the bones that they had reclaimed to rest in the resting place on the family farm. The prodigal son and ghostly annoyance Alstor was laid beside them. A prayer was spoken, a dirge was performed, the quest completed. Peace had finally come to Alistor Land and his family. Now, upon returning to Diamond Lake, the party made preparations for a return to the Whispering Cairn, where they still had business to attend to. Osric met with Yersinia, revealing everything. She feared for his safety and cautioned him about those who might seek to stop him. Kandor sought out his mentor, bearing grim tidings of the Age of Worms. Goldie and Torbin returned to the Come On In to find total chaos, a barn in disarray, chickens slaughtered, and their owlbear cub glutted on feathers and blood. Meanwhile, Vamrid tuned his upgraded battle tuba, giving it a series of vigorous blows well into the night. Shortly after dawn, Osric set out to meet his companions. I actually had a wink at the camera in there. Shortly after dawn, Osric set out to meet his companions as was waylaid by the party's patron, a mysterious adventurer named Cleric, and his deadly companion, Tiara. Having hired the party to seek out lost relics in the hills, they sought an update from Osric. Suspicious of their motives and heeding the words of his mentor, Osric revealed very little to them. And perhaps sensing the deception, Cleric and his smile turned sharp, and he promised to the young wizard that they would meet again. Now, concerned for the safety of his companions, Osric sent them on ahead while he sought counsel with the powerful wizard Alistan. Goldie, too, would remain behind to rectify the damage inflicted to her place of residence and employment by the party's owlbear cub. Torbin, Kandor, and Vamrid, along with the owlbear, presumably, would return to the Whispering Cairn, or at least head into the hills, without Osric or his bodyguard. Now, before we stride ahead in this story, we should take a moment and turn back a pace in the chronicle. Not terribly far, but just far enough to tell an important tale. So, as we do this, my friends, Laurel.
Yes?
It's been some time since you left the stern calm of the temple, since you left behind your blessed mother with her exacting standards and her impossible expectations of your Heronian upbringing. On the road, under the stars, amongst the trees, you found your pace. Dangerous at times, without doubt, but open and free. It was here that you found your voice, and it was here, too, that you found your story. And as luck would have it, you eventually found yourself with a merchant caravan bound for a distant mining town in the heart of the Cairn Hills, Diamond Lake, a rough and tumble frontier town with many a story to tell. The merchants and their guide, a good-natured elven chap by the name of Malik Tumbo, spoke of a house of curiosities. They referred to it as the Emporium, housed in Diamond Lake itself. Interesting. A house of questionable reputation, but filled with ancient relics and curiosities from across the Flanness, filled with stories perhaps beyond imagination. So you continued on with the caravan into the Cairn Hills, and now, as we sort of zoom in on the scene, it's nighttime. Most of the merchants have retired after another challenging day of travel, and you sit for the moment by the warmth of a crackling fire, perhaps making notes in a journal, perhaps composing a song, whatever it might be. To your right sits the ranger Malik, and to your left, a young porter named Pip. Now, Malik sits there in relative silence, Pip not really saying much after having prepared the meal and cleaned up afterwards, right? But they're sort of sitting there. You can hear the crackle of the fire. Perhaps Malik turns and throws another log on the fire to keep things warm. It's cold. It's a chilly night, but it's comfortable, and there's a lot of promise, right, in the air. You look over at Malik, and he's just kind of sitting there. He's got a piece of wood that he's whittling with a sharp knife. And he just kind of looks over at you for a moment and then looks back, and he's whittling.
What are you carving?
Just passing the time, as it is. I don't know. Could be just a sharp stick. What do you think it is? And he holds it up.
I think there could be a frog in there.
Frog? You think there's an amphibian in this? Interesting.
I think there could be a frog in there. I see some curves in the grain.
You know what? Laurel, right? Here. I think you could give this a better story than I ever could.
Really?
Sure. I mean, you have the look of someone who's still learning how to be dusty, but not many practitioners of the divine magic even leave the marble floors and trade them for muddy boots.
Maybe that's what it is about it all. It doesn't feel divine. This road, this path. I like that.
Are you trying to find something else then? Something different?
Yes. And I want to start with this. And she pulls what she had been working on in her lap, which was about it's wide enough to be held by two hands. It's a wooden pipe. And also in her hands is a little pouch. I don't know how to use this.
You just hear from Pip, and then you look over at him, he's just stoic. The pipe, you've never smoked before?
No.
Are you sure you want to start smoking now?
It seems like the thing to do. It seems like a common practice.
It is. I'll show you. I'll show you how I do it, at least, and you make your own decision. And he pulls out a small leather pouch, and he opens it up, and he kind of shakes it up, and the sweetest leaf I've had in a long time. He pulls out this long, he holds it up. Pulls out a
sweet.
long pipe, and he takes a big wad of this green kind of sticky leaf, and he packs it into this pipe, and then he reaches down into the campfire and pulls out a burning, glowing stick and just lets out a big cloud of smoke.
Oh. Can I try?
Of course.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Are you then?
Yeah.
Just take a just an easy draw.
She does what she thinks is an easy draw. It is not an easy draw.
Just a burning red cherry just glows bright as you get this hot sort of like acrid smoke that enters into your throat and into your lungs. There it is. Easy now. He reaches down.
Adventurers do.
Well, not all of them, but yeah, I suppose it's a good way to strike up conversation and camaraderie on the trail. Here, and he reaches in and he hands you a wineskin. Maybe wash it down with a little of some Keelan red.
What is this stuff?
She's never drank or smoked before.
Oh my God. Okay, we're corrupting Laurel like right away. This is great. Easy now. Take it easy then. All right, that's enough. And there's more where that came from. Just let it soak in a bit.
This is a good chapter.
Are you really writing? I couldn't help but notice that you carry that sizable journal.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it poetry? Is it prose? What stories do you chase?
The stories people carry. When I was with the church, I wasn't permitted very often to talk to people. Until there was this woman who was injured. And she came and I watched over her and she told me all kinds of stories about... Sorry, my dog might start barking.
Hey! My buddy. We love dogs around here.
Sorry about that.
There are
Let me
wolves.
just put him down the stairs.
There are wolves baying in the night. Do you hear that, Pip? Yes, I do. I'm a bit scared. It's all right, Pip. Don't worry.
But she told me about this one winter where the lake below her house flash froze and you could see all the way down to the sand standing on top of the ice. And the fish sleeping in the water. And that winter, they had two skies. They had the sky above and the sky in the lake from all the stars that were reflected there. And I asked her how she couldn't just scream such a thing from the rooftops. My life was behind walls.
Sounds amazing.
It was. These stories deserve to be told.
What
So I
story
wanna
do you think?
compile them.
What do you think, old Pip here? What do you think his story would be? And he just kind of looks over at you nervously, and then looks back at the fire.
What does Pip look like?
Pip has like this really obscene like bowl cut, kind of like a like it's just like cut all the way around here. He's got dirty leather vest, a tunic that's stained. He does have sturdy boots. The boots look like he's probably spent all of his money on the boots. And you've noticed him during the travels. He stays close to the caravans. He fixes the food. He sets things up for the caravan drivers and that sort of thing. So he's kind of like a bit of a gopher / handy kid, I guess. He's young. He's younger than you. He's probably 10, 11.
I think you've probably watched an adult get really seriously hurt by using the wrong end of a knife to cut food.
Well, that got dark. He just kind of looks at you and then looks back at the fire without really giving a hint of whether or not you're right. And what do you figure they were preparing then with this knife?
Stew. Nothing good begins with a night of stew.
That is an interesting lead into an amazing story. Pip, do you like the beginning of this story? And he kind of looks over and he goes, it's a bit scary, but yeah.
How scary could it be?
well, they lost a finger, right? The knife slipped while they were cutting stew, and their finger got chopped right off.
That's horrid. And very good.
It wasn't very good for the stew, but I don't think anybody noticed.
She laughs, a very hearty, like appreciative laugh, and begins earnestly writing the whole thing down as he's talking and just sketching Pip in the notebook beside the words.
Malik continues to sort of like fuss around with the fire, throwing more wood on as the night continues, and he kind of leans over again and he says, "Tell me, Laurel, when you left home, did you know where your route would take you? Did you know where it would lead, or did you just simply start walking in a direction to find yourself where you are now?"
Well, I hope I didn't do it wrong. But,
You didn't place your fate in God's hands, did you?
I don't know. I don't know if I did. I just did what I was told a little bit. I could only see the horizon in this direction from where I stood then, so I started walking.
Well, in my experience, Laurel, it's best to place your fate in your own hands, make your own decisions, be decisive when needed. The gods, well, I don't believe they care much for us. It's possible that I'm wrong, but I have nothing to prove it. I've only seen hardship. There's beauty, no doubt. Tomorrow's morning sunrise will be one of them. This campfire here. But at the heart of it is challenge, struggle. But I guess that makes for a good story.
I think that, I think you're right. There's a lot of bad. And following the words never got me very far. But I think we were put here by something. And if something put me here, and I'm choosing to do good, then I'm proof the gods care.
I like that. You know, Laurel, you've got a good heart. I can tell. Do whatever you can to keep it that way. The world is sharp enough without another nihilistic blade at its throat. You can tell at this point that he just sort of like, he's there with you and with Pip and sitting there and he's present, but he's somewhere else. He's now thinking about something and he kind of goes quiet. Is there anything else that you would like to ask him or Pip, or anything you'd do around the fire before the end of the night?
Yeah. And we don't necessarily have to roleplay it out if we want to like move on to other scenes, but I think Laurel would see that and she would press. She would see him fall into silence and she would just kind of stare. And she would, without even realizing she was doing it, she would lean in a little closer and she would just ask outright, "What are you thinking about?" with her quill at the ready.
Kind of brings him back to the moment and in front of the fire, as his thoughts were miles and miles away. And he just kind of looks at you side-eyed and then kind of looks back at the fire and says, "Laurel, I think that's a story for another day."
You're no fun.
Pip is over there kind of like doing his best to stay up, but like he's definitely falling asleep. Pip, go find your bedroll. You've got an early morning for breakfast, yeah? Yes, of course. Good night, Laurel.
Good night, Pip.
Pip takes off into the darkness and you can kind of hear him, getting into his sleeping rig. And Malik just kind of turns and says, I'll keep the fire going for a bit longer. I guess they do pay me to keep an eye on things around here.
Mind if I keep the post with you?
Sit as long as you'd like, Laurel.
She returns to her drawing one of Pip's fingers in her journal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Eventually, the night grows very late, and you find yourself taking your rest. Getting up from the fire. Malik appears to be staying at his post, doing his diligent watch of things, and you feel, you've been traveling for a couple of days. There's still a number of days to go before Diamond Lake, but you feel like he's got a pretty good handle on things. And so you drift off to sleep, maybe having dreams of the stew or some other story that you've heard, maybe wondering what it could be that Malik's, might be hiding behind those eyes of his. Eventually you retire. Now, really quickly, as you are in your sleep, you you hear a commotion. And at first it's not clear if it is the dream that you're having or if perhaps it's something else, but you hear a scream, and you sit up in your bedroll and look about, and you can see that the fire has grown. There are people, some of the merchants that you've been traveling with are like running. They're calling out, we're being attacked. And you watch as Malik runs past you as he is pulling his some arrows out of his quiver, and he looks down at you and he's just like, he says, just stay hidden, stay safe, stay hidden. And he goes off, and you can see him. He knocks an arrow and looses it, and it just flies into the darkness. You watch. He kind of disappears in the shadows, but you can see him like smashing something with a fist, and then knocking another arrow and firing another arrow. What do you do?
She's not staying hidden. No. She retreats really quick. She grabs out her like chain shirt. She pulls it over her head. And she grabs the mace that she has been carrying with her at her side. And she will creep up to just the edge of the shadow and try to like look into the darkness to see what Malik was firing at.
Go ahead and let's do a dexterity check as sort of like as you're trying to sneak around in the dark.
Woo! Okay. That's a 16 on the die.
Okay.
It is a secondary for me.
Okay, got you. Okay.
16 total.
All right. So as you're sneaking about, you look out and you can see that there are what appear to be, unknown faces of individuals that are engaged in battle. You can see that some of the merchants have drawn swords and are fending off. Malik is firing arrows, and that's when you feel like the hair on your head like get yanked back. And you look up and someone's got you by the hair and is like starting to drag you across the into the light of the fire. And yep. Go ahead and roll initiative for me real quick.
Okay. That is an 8.
Okay. All right. I rolled a 10. So he grabs you by the hair and he's dragging you across this opening, and you can hear him just say you don't know what language he's speaking, but he's speaking, and there's a call from somewhere else, and you look over and you see another one of these sort of like rough looking bandits, and they're just kind of like grinning at you like with some evil intent in their eye. And that's when you look over and you can see Malik, and he kind of reaches back like this, and he looses a hand axe, and the hand axe comes flying across and hits the bandit that's got you by the hair right in the head, and you feel the release of it. And he lets you go. What do you want to do?
Okay. My God, I suddenly like forgot how to read. Okay. I think that Are there any people friendly to me within a 20-foot diameter of myself?
Yes, you look over and you can see Pip is hiding under one of the wagons, like he's as low to the ground as he can be. You can just kind of see his eyes from beneath this hideous bowl cut, the hair just kind of like right at the top of his, where his eyebrows are concealed, and he's kind of looking up at you with these just terrified look on his face.
Okay, I'll say, you're just a little too old for the bowl cut. And she'll take her mace and she will turn around rather than cast a spell, and we'll take the mace and we'll attack the bandit that was just hit with the axe.
Okay, give me an attack roll, please.
Oh, okay. That's a 13 on the dice plus 2, so it's a 15 total.
Okay, he is mortally wounded, so that is a hit, because his AC is much lower than it normally would be, because he's basically dazed with an axe, hand axe stuck in his head.
Nice.
And so, yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
5 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, he just goes limp and just slumps to the ground. You look over, you kind of turn around instinctively at the other bandit that was kind of like closing in when he had you by the hair, and he's coming up on you, and suddenly 2 arrows right in his chest, and he goes down. The fighting continues in this clearing. You can hear people crying out in pain. You can hear some shouts for help. You can hear the clang of sword on sword. And when the dust settles on the scene, there are some dead bodies, one of which is one that you dispatched there with the axe in their head. And you're looking about, there are a couple of other of these unfamiliar bandit-like individuals laying dead with arrows, a bunch of arrows stuck in them that are the same fletching as Malik's, the arrows in his quiver. And you look around and Pip is safe. The other merchants are kind of like banding together and like taking stock of anything that was lost or anything. And you're looking about for Malik, and you don't see Malik, and you don't see where he is. And the merchants are gathering things up and helping each other up. You know, there's a couple of minor wounds, but by most accounts, everybody seems to be okay except for the bandits that were killed. And eventually you see Malik, and he is propped up against a broken crate that had fallen out maybe, or was lifted out by one of the bandits and has smashed. And there's some trade goods there, maybe some like pottery and things like that are smashed. A bunch of straw kind of strewn about nearby. And he's kind of propped up against it. He's still got his bow in his hand. His quiver is over his shoulder. There's not a single arrow in the quiver. A few paces away, you see bodies of 3 different bandits just riddled with arrows. In addition to the other ones that he shot. He just loosed everything he had to protect this caravan. And he's laying there just sort of like, you can see he's bleeding out. He himself has arrows stuck in him as well, and some wounds from what appear to be like wounds from swords. What do you want to do?
I sprint towards him as fast as I can, kind of dropping the mace, and slide onto my knees in front of him and begin immediately going through the motions for my God, the name of the spell, heal light wounds.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and you cast heal light wounds. What does that look like, Laurel, when you cast it?
I think that, let me just really quick go to the page number of the spell just so I can make sure that I do that correctly. I think that she places her hands on him and just begins to babble out this story about her mother, when her mother was a very young girl in the priesthood and was learning about how to like serve Heronius, and her teacher was really mean, and like babbling out this story. And then the words are kind of infused with the healing magic that kind of washes over him.
As you kneel beside him and channel this divine energy into his wounded, nearly mortally wounded body, there's something that you notice right away. You may not recognize it immediately, but you notice that the veins along his neck are dark, almost black. And it seems to like be spreading, and he coughs you get the sense that the divine healing energy that you channeled into him is not powerful enough to counteract some sort of toxin that is taking over his body. And you look down and he's got an arrow in his chest. And as you kind of like pull back the clothing from the wound, you can see that there is a blotch of dark, almost necrotic tissue damage that's occurring. And you would probably at least intuit that this is some sort of a poison that is taking him over. And he kind of looks up at you. And again, his eyes are sort of like fading a little bit. He just says, Are they okay, the merchants, Pip, the rest of them?
Everyone's fine.
That's good. I did what I could, Laurel. I did what I was hired to do. I tried.
You did good.
Not bad for an old fool, I suppose.
Not bad at all.
He coughs and sort of like this dark ichor kind of pours down from the side of his mouth. It doesn't look good.
I take
Laurel.
a piece of my sleeve and I clean it off his face.
Listen, Laurel, there isn't a whole lot of time. You must find Eliel Moonmeadow at the lake. Tell them they were right about Nathron Quinn, Sylphides, the Harbinger of Doom, the seed of endings. The old one stirs in the north. Promise me, Laurel. He reaches up and kind of grips onto your arm. Tell them before it's too late.
I will.
With his other
I'll see you
hand,
then.
he reaches into his tunic and he pulls out. And you might have noticed this before, but he wears on a leather strap a rough-hewn but beautiful silver lodestone. It looks like a piece of ore that was taken out of a mine or something like that, but it means a lot to him, and he has it on a strap around his neck, and he grips it with his other hand and he just pulls it loose, just snaps it loose, and he hands it to you. He says, "Take this. It's valuable, but its value will help you with Moonmeadow. Show this to them and they'll know that you are true." And he holds it out for you to take.
Yeah, she takes it.
As you take it and look at it for a minute, and then you look back up at him as if to maybe ask him another question or to say something else, you can see that the life is gone from his eyes and his body is lifeless. And you have this sort of sense as a divine magic practitioner that something has changed and his soul or his life essence has left the physical form.
In the church, Laurel's primary job was, or well, not her primary job, but a significant portion of her time was devoted to the care and keeping of corpses in the church. And so she is very familiar with dead bodies, just not ones that were her friends at any point. So she lays him down. She closes his eyes. She takes off her cloak and kind of puts it over him, cleaning any of the ichor off of his face before covering it. And sits there over him and finishes the story that she was telling about her mother.
And as the story that you're telling comes to an end at this moment, you look up from Malik in the scene and you can see a beautiful sunrise over the mountain ridge and the conifer trees. You can just see it kind of shining through the needles, and it's one of the most beautiful things that you've seen, or at least it sure seems like it in this moment. You can smell the pine needles and the ash from the fire as the companions of your caravan are pulling themselves together. You hear in the distance a raven's call, just one long, lonely note. And we will close this scene here as you then eventually make your way to Diamond Lake, where you soon realize that in order to perhaps take an audience with the Moonmeadow, Eliel Moonmeadow, that you might need some friends in town to help make that because you have no idea when you get there. The merchants go off and do their thing. You arrive there. You might run into a cleric of a Celestian who has a small shrine in the town square and is often mistaken for telling people's fortunes and their futures. And they may direct you to a watering hole where a little bit of coin can go a long way, and that's called the Come On In. And so I think what we'll do now is we will transition to the Come On In. This may be later, a couple of days later from that original scene that you just had, as you find yourself sitting in this kind of a raucous little tavern. The clientele is a little rough around the edges. It's in an area of town near the smelting facility for some of the iron and the ores that come out of the local mines. And you look about and you see a variety of very interesting looking people. But let me just ask you this: what do you do when you arrive at this inn?
Oh man. Oh, also, I realized I forgot to describe what Laurel looks like. Can I do that as well?
Yeah, give us and thank you to Anonymous for the donation too. We are now making some money for feeding America. Thank you. Yeah,
Feed
please
people.
describe Laurel for us, please.
Yeah, so 16-year-old Laurel has like kind of straight black hair, gray eyes, and she wears actually clerical kind of vestments and a chain shirt that were pilfered and stolen from the church that she fled in the night. It carries the colors and even the symbol of Heronius. The symbol in the chest she has attempted to kind of like sort of remove, but it's really in there, and so it kind of just looks mangled and it's still recognizable. But she has never been in a place like this ever. So she's there with her giant notebook that she carries everywhere, and kind of stands at the entrance of the tavern. Has never been in a city really, or like a place like this. And she knocks on the door and waits for an answer. And when there isn't one, she kind of just opens the door and walks in.
As you open the door again, you see this sort of menagerie of individuals in all various states of inebriation. The walls are grimy and wooden. There's the stench of beer and sweat, and sort of this. You can get the whiffs of the chemical odors from the smelting house nearby. And it's full on this evening. There are people about. You look around, you can see that there is a gentleman who seems to be sort of like shining or polishing this strange looking combination of a shield and a tuba or some sort of musical horn instrument. You see a couple of other, you maybe see another clerical looking individual. Maybe even, I don't know, Kandor, if you would be, if you would have your symbol, your holy symbol showing or not. But
yeah, I in probably like my everyday Heronius colors. But yeah, my symbol's all, we don't hide our symbol.
Yeah, exactly. So you walk in and you see this, and you see one like empty seat at the far end of the establishment, and do you go to the bar or do you go sit down?
I think that the first thing that happens is she sees this instrument and it stops her dead in her tracks, because it's exactly the type of thing that she's like, oh, there is something to be said about that thing. I want to learn about that thing right now.
There's a story behind it.
There is a story.
Yeah.
And then she debates going up to the person and falls into that teen thing of like, oh no, but then I'll be perceived. And so she's kind of stuck there for a second, and then kind of still watching this person backs up to the bar and will slowly try to order a drink from the bar while also kind of glancing over.
Okay. As you glance at this individual polishing their tuba, Vamrid, what do we see? Describe for us Vamrid, please.
So Vamrid's there with this long beard with gems in it, oiled up arms, cut off sleeves, dwarf, and his tuba that's sitting there that he's sort of shining a little bit after its fresh upgrades It's got a skull attached to the front of it and spikes on the very top and the front of it. And the back actually has like extra support as a handle so that he can use it in battle. Has a sword on his side, a mug in front of him, and he's just kind of looking around the room, just thinking about his next song, whether it's going to be a positive angry dirge or like a sorrowful angry dirge. But either way, it's probably going to make people leave.
No,
because it's loud. I mean, it's loud, and he does enjoy.
I love him
having
already.
it. But yeah, so he's noticing people coming in. Always, has an eye on whatever's going on. So I mean, he sees this timid human coming in, and he's clocked her, and he's just kind of seeing what's going on.
Laurel, this must be the table of dwarves, because as you kind of scan who this individual's with, you see Torbin. Torbin, what does Laurel see when they look over at you?
Torbin is pretty drunk.
Hell yeah.
Laughing at the top of his lungs. And he just finished some punchline to a joke to Kandor where he was saying, "Don't feed her that, it'll give him worms." And he's just kind of having a good old time. So he's a little bit of a spectacle. He's a young dwarf, not a very long beard, which you would probably know means he's like basically a teenager or like late teenage years, and in dwarf age anyway. And he's wearing this set of hide armor that is a little rough around the edges, like probably could be cleaned. Looks like he spends a lot of time outside, but yeah, he's just sitting there on a chair having a good old time without a care in the world right now.
Nice.
And as you are carrying on and jubilant in your joke telling and inebriation, you just catch a glimpse, Torbin, as you look over at the bar for a minute, suddenly realizing how loud you've been, and you look over and you can see Goldie is over at the bar, just like wiping the bar down, just glowering at you, just like, because like previous to this, you had gotten in a lot of trouble with Goldie because the owlbear cub had gotten into a lot of trouble in the barn. And so Goldie is paying the price for that right now while you're drinking beers with Vamrid. And Kandor, what are you doing at this moment? Are you with them?
Oh, yeah. Kandor is sitting next to Torbin, and I'm trying to hear what Vamrid is saying, and I'm half hearing what Torbin is saying. And the whole time I've got like a pile of Goldie's rags. I'm just, all the beer that Torbin keeps spilling, I'm trying to wipe off of me.
What a good patron.
Symbol. And then I hear Torbin laughing, and I say, I'm like, what? The owlbear's got worms. What? And then I see Laurel coming in, and I just immediately, my table is not even there anymore. I'm just like, I'm a 17-year-old young, blonde hair. I'm starting to grow the beard. And I'm wearing the grays and silver and blue of Heronius, and my symbol's like right there. I'm constantly polishing it, it's just nice little. It's just like the most expensive thing I own besides the sword that was given to me. But I see her walking in, and as she's looking at Vamrid, I'm ready to jump up to kick somebody out of a chair to offer her a seat. But then she turns around and goes up to the bar.
She never takes her eyes off of you three. Just kind of is staring, and then kind of slowly takes in the other two of you, and then just slowly backs up, but is still looking.
There's only so far you can back up as you kind of bump into the bar itself, and you hear a voice from behind you. What can I get you, dear? And you look over and you see this kind of older woman. She is a human. She has her hair back in a bun. She looks her bangs are kind of all over the place, and she's got an apron on that is stained with beer and food or whatever else. She looks like she's been working her ass off, but she like wipes down the bar in front of you. What'll it be, dear? What can I get you? Make it quick.
Oh,
An ale it'll be, and she says it'll be 3 copper, and she goes over and she grabs a big flagon and she takes it down and she looks back at you. She puts the flagon back up and takes out like a teacup, and she fills it up and she sets it down in front of you. She's like, 3 copper.
here you are.
Thank you. It's customary to leave a tip, but well,
What is that?
it's well, you pay the 3 copper. For the beverage, but then you pay a little bit extra as appreciation for the service that you're being provided with.
A tip
called a
of
tip.
something specific?
It's more monetary. Do you have advice to give?
Oh.
Is that what you're saying, a youngster like yourself?
Well, I could
Tell
try
me,
my
what
hand.
advice would you give an old woman like me?
I think you should part your hair down the side.
That's rude. I'm quite fond of my hairdo. But,
You look beautiful. But if you ever wanted to try something different,
I'll take it into consideration, I suppose.
will this do? She drops a silver on the table.
Oh, no, dear.
She has pulled it randomly from her
She
pocket.
pushes it back towards you. She said, that's far too much. Another copper would be fine, maybe 2 at the most.
Oh. Here.
What are you looking at, Harvey? Turn your eyes away. Very
Here you
well.
are.
Enjoy. Be careful around here. What's your name?
I'm Laurel.
You look lost, Laurel.
I'm lost.
Okay, dear. What can I do to help you? What do you need? Do you need a job? I'm looking to maybe get rid of one of my other employees, perhaps hire someone on. It's been a bit of a shake-up with the help.
No, stay focused, Laurel. Moon Meadow. I need to talk to Moon Meadow, but I don't know where they are.
Moon Meadow. Well, ain't you fancy?
Is
Moon
that
Meadow?
fancy?
Well, yes. The Moon Meadow family has been here for longer than, well, just about anyone. They're elves, you see. They live forever. They're involved with some of the mining bits around here. Lots of the mining folk. They come in here to drink. We take their coin. It's the same as anyone else, but Moon Meadow's different. They keep to themselves. Don't really rub elbows with the rest of the town, if you know what I mean. Getting an audience with them might be pretty difficult.
I think I know where to start. Thank you. You've been very helpful. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate it.
Right. All right. Well, be careful then. And stay away from that one. And she points down at Goldie. And Goldie just kind of looks over and goes, "Psh," and kind of goes behind the bar and disappears.
Sure. She will go towards the fanciest people that she sees here.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably Vamrid.
It's these 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's Vamrid in particular. He would be looking fairly fancy with his shiny tuba and the gems in his beard kind of thing. So yeah, you start to approach them maybe with a little bit of trepidation.
The teacup is shaking in her hands as she kind of approaches. She's like a kid at the cafeteria, like, hi.
And I was already standing and moving, so I said, she turned around. I literally will bump from the table over. Come on, Bob, your mother's calling you. And I literally kind of just shove him out of the seat. He's all hammered. I just kind of slide him out of the seat. And I just spin the seat around for her right next to Vamrid. I pull it out. I'm like,
what a
hi.
gentleman.
Hi. I'm Kandor. I've never seen a lady wear the colors of Feronius.
Oh, yeah. They're not exactly mine.
Oh.
But you are a worshiper of Heronius.
Oh, yes, I live in the keep. Yes.
It's good to meet
you-
you. I'm Laurel.
Hi. I kind of like nervously shake her hand, and I'm kind of like, Vamrid, help me out in this.
Yes.
I've never talked to her. This is Vamrid. This is Vamrid.
I play just the shortest note on my tuba just to quiet that, just to settle them. Just Well, welcome, my lady. I noticed, and he's putting it on pretty thick right now. I noticed by your holy symbol garb and powerful gait coming in that you could be a seasoned veteran around here, around these times. Skilled at the ways of healing, perhaps? And maybe battle, but maybe not.
I've been in a couple. I get around.
Excellent. My companions could use the services of someone with this might. As my friend over here, and I point to Torbin, often seemed to find himself covered in beetles, acid, fire, sometimes all together.
Can you heal vicious insect burns? Because I have a few of those on my face, as you can see. And
that's no way to talk to a lady.
Oh, I can do that. I see these all the time. These must be firebugs. We have these up north.
They were not firebugs. The bugs were only acid. The fire was something else. On top of the bugs. I
wasn't there. He was like that when I met him.
May I?
By all means, I tried.
She gets right in his face and begins asking all sorts of questions about the bugs. How many legs did they have? What was the color of the carapace? Did they have a shell, or were they soft and squishy? And begins to heal him using a healing spell if it's necessary.
Torbin will do his best to recall the details of
lots of legs,
the stream of bugs,
green-colored beetles.
There was a lot of them. They were kind of green, metallic-y.
Mm-hmm. Swarming. They were swarming. They wrapped him like a blanket,
river,
not the good kind.
A small river of insects.
A small river of insects.
I mean,
kind of a geyser.
More like a geyser. Geyser. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Geyser of insects in my face.
She opens up her giant thing, begins scribbling down everything that they're saying.
The interesting thing is she has a large book that she just pulled out. I mean, it's a huge tome. Dameron, you'd probably get a little excited about this.
On the table.
I think we kept some of them and brought them back to the establishment that we hang out at, our little keep, if you will. Something that we've taken eminent domain of. See, Torbin is the proprietor here, and we've scoped out displacement for just compensation from Ogofent 50 years ago.
Yeah. Confusing story is true.
He's my lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah,
real estate. Real estate.
Among other things.
Yes.
He handles the documents.
Do I need a lawyer to talk to you?
No.
Okay.
No. And if you join the group, you will also have rights to the services that I provide for real estate and other tax stuff. Yeah.
I would very much like to hear more.
Okay.
I'm looking for Moon Meadow, and if you're able to help me with that, I'll help you with anything that I can help you with. I know how to dress a corpse. I know how to make a corpse look alive. And I'm pretty good with this thing. And she holds up a mace that's like pretty big.
You know Osric. He likes bodies too.
Osric?
I don't know.
I mean, someone else is very interested in corpses as well that you guys interacted with the day before, which is Filge.
Yes, Filge. Yeah, that. I'm not too happy with that agreement, but anyways, young lady, actually, do we know this moon? I mean, I lived in this town my whole life. Have I heard of this?
Well, a couple things. I'll have you roll for this. But I will say one thing, like at the comment of dressing corpses and this sort of thing, that would probably trigger you guys from what you just experienced with Filge. Like even wondering perhaps is Laurel somehow associated with that necromancy?
True. We have no insight in this game, so. But yeah,
You would be shocked the amount of things that you can do with embalming fluid. There are a lot of different functions, and none of them are edible, but a lot of them are creative.
Interesting. Insight.
This has melted from her.
Yes.
Seems a little more confident suddenly.
I was about to say, yes.
Go ahead, Kandor, and give me an intelligence check on this
Okay,
Moon
so-
Meadow thing.
Naughty Prime, it's like my worst stat. I'm not a very smart guy. I spent most of my time killing rats for the priests. Yeah, I know absolutely. I probably know less before I thought about now that I've thought about it. I rolled a 3 minus 1.
Yeah,
Nice.
the name doesn't ring a bell. I mean, the garrison
sheltered.
where
I'm
you
sheltered.
the garrison where you are studying and where you have lived for a period of time studying with the priests
years.
there, they do not involve themselves, even not just the Heronians, but the actual soldiers that are stationed at the garrison don't really involve themselves with the machinations of the mining magnates in this town, or any of the politics or business dealings. They are simply there to take care of goblin hordes and patrol the hills. Like, they stay out, and you can still interact with them regularly because you live there, but none of the stories really would probably trickle into, especially where you're studying, Kandor. So yeah, the Moon Meadow comment doesn't really ring a bell.
No, I'm like, I'm sorry, Laura. I don't know this Moon Meadow, but maybe you look like you're new to town, so yeah, this place could be pretty rough. You should stick with us at the very least for a few days. We're going back eventually to the fortification that Torbin and Vamber had mentioned, but maybe we might be able to know some people that might know for you.
I would be in your debt if I could tag along.
Well, there's no debt. Don't worry. Getting in with us, that's your punishment.
Punishment.
Oh, I don't know. It's just, I've learned with these guys, it's it's crazy.
You three get into trouble.
Trouble gets into us, I guess. I don't know.
Can I take a stab at legend lore?
Say it again.
Can I take a stab at knowing anything about the Moon Meadow with my legend lore?
You can roll an intelligence check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, 18 on the dot.
Okay. Yeah. You've heard the name Moon Meadow, and you would be able to associate that with an elven individual and family that owns a silver mine near town. They have an estate on the lake. They are reclusive. They are, I think, from your perspective, with an 18, was there some modifiers to that or anything, or just a straight 18? With an 18, I would say that you would know that to get an audience with them would be difficult for any of you.
What are you trying to say? Would
Exactly what I
Torbin
did.
know anything about this family from just kind of his hunting and trapping adventures around town? Like their
Not
property?
necessarily from that perspective, but if you want to make an intelligence check, you could.
Okay. I also rolled an 18 minus
Okay.
1.
Okay, that's still a success, in the sense that you recognize the name. Again, they are in. Whereas one thing that you might get, based on some of your connection to growing up in this town, is that while most of the mine operators, and there's like 4 or 5 different owners of mines, and they're all conniving and competing with each other or forming alliances to thwart the plans. It's just sort of like a despicable business dealing sort of thing. But the Moon Meadows keep to themselves, and while the other mines are largely focused on iron mining, the Moon Meadow mine is associated with silver. But yes, again, you wouldn't know anybody that's really associates with them because they keep to themselves.
how were you expecting to meet these moon men though? They're very hard to get to.
I didn't exactly have what you would call a plan. I have a message for them from a friend of theirs.
Oh. Maybe this friend knows how to get in touch with them. Can you get in hold of him or her?
He is beyond reach, I'm afraid.
Oh.
He passed a few days ago.
Oh.
On the road, on the way here. It was a bandit attack, a terrible poison in their arrows that appeared to strike him. Yes. I was traveling with a merchant caravan with this friend. Malik was his name. They struck in the night with apparently poisoned arrows, and he was the only one who died, but he had a dire message for the Moon Meadow.
Did he tell you how to find them or anything?
Only that I must.
She's not wearing that thing that she was given, right? No.
Well, just to fill you in, I mean, I'm Vamrid, this is Torbin and Kandor, and just want to give you a little heads up on what we're dealing with before you just jump in, you know.
I have been wondering what your deal is from the moment I walked in here.
Yeah, I appreciate that, you know. If you're gonna make a statement, make the loudest statement you can.
Exactly.
But besides
Thank
the
you, Jose.
tuba and the fear that it unleashes amongst the evil hordes out there, what we've been into, and I kind of motion you to come a little closer because I'm not going to yell this because this is one of the things that we've tried to keep under wraps a little bit. We have a code word for this, risky biscuits, but we have come upon the knowledge of these creatures, these Wind Dukes of Aqaa. They are Vati. They are celestial beings.
What?
They stay with me.
Okay,
Remember,
I'm walking.
See the tuba? Storyteller. Stay with you.
Obviously,
You might want to
yes.
write some of this down in that book. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna take notes.
Okay. They fought an epic war against chaos. It spanned the dimensions, space, perhaps time. Don't know. One of their great warriors eventually fell in battle in this realm, and he was buried in the Pesh far to the north. And he was laid in the Cairn Hills. Now, I've already gone in a few times and found out his name, Zosiel. And basically, we believe that in these dark times, they have left us tools to assist us in the peril that we face. So we have slowly gone back after facing challenges, come out to rest, recoup, recover, heal the burn wounds, the poison wounds, all of that stuff. So we're going adventuring to find these tools to help us in these dark times. So a fellow adventurer like yourself would be welcome amongst friends here.
I'm riveted. I would very much like to write down this story. Is that is that okay with all of you if I do that?
He's not crazy, but yeah. It would be nice to have it written down because sometimes I don't even believe it.
Tools, these
Yeah,
tools.
I guess I'm all right with that.
I'm glad. Are they literal tools?
When I say tools, see, this is all in ancient languages, and we found, different stone devices and glyphs and things. So when I say tools, you're talking magic, whether weapons or other things to assist, right?
Weapons, things like
Correct.
spells.
Tools.
Relics.
Yeah, relics, tools, right? All kinds of things. I mean, this stuff is ancient, so we have to find it and figure out how to use it. to help us in these dark times. Things are
What time is
amiss.
dark?
Bandits, you mentioned yourself. You were attacked by bandits just the other week. Our friend who's out on trip right now, he was attacked in the streets right outside of this bar by bandits. Thankfully, 2 brave souls stepped in and took care of business. But it's troublesome out there. We need to join forces and do things for the power of good. I'm sure you would agree, as he's staring at your holy robes.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yes, I would like to do good. Yeah. That sounds nice.
How convincing are you when you say that, Laurel?
I feel like that must be up to everyone else. The tone
Like a
that she
60-40,
has
you know?
for herself is like she had to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Give us do this real quick. Give us a charisma check. Not that you're trying to be charismatic, Laurel, but just that you are, just to see kind of how the vibe is that you're giving off with this comment.
Her vibe is very mutable. So that's a 10 on the die with +1, so 11 prime.
Okay. All right. So, it's the way it came out was a little awkward, but you get a sense that they're sort of convincing themselves. Perhaps.
That sounds nice.
Cameron's not worried about the good after helping us in the hills. He's worried about getting her into the hills to help us there more than anything.
As Vanmer was telling his story, I was like I have a drinking cup. I was taking it, and out of my wine skin that I had, which is actually better wine, it's from the keep in the temple, pouring it, keeping the bar owner from seeing me. And as I slide it forward, I just push that nasty swill that she's got in front of her. I just slide it away, and I put the nice, much better tasting drink in front of her as she's like riveted with Vamrid.
I will attempt to take the one that you slid away from her to myself. To make this will not go to waste.
I think this is all happening on the table. Her eyes are just fixed on you, on the three of you, like telling the story, and just not notice that at all.
I'm just like, have you got a place to stay tonight?
No, I just got in. I've kind of been figuring it out as we go along.
I might be able to get you a guest room for the night at the keep in the visitors' quarters. I mean, you're dressed simply enough, like one of our own.
Will that
be
all right?
If you be one of our own, I'm good friends with the higher priests, and they like me.
How much communication does your hold have with other churches of Heronius?
Well, what was the relationship, or between our parish is kind of it was set up to kind of like keep an eye on the mining town, and really don't get a lot of communication outside of within only a few miles. Really a garrison, but the temple does good. We try to keep the law and help where we can. They'll welcome
a relief to hear.
They'll welcome you. Just let them
they're
know
both
what temple
they're both
you're from.
Iridian, like both Farligan and Heronius are Iridian gods. So
right.
And they're both on like Farligan is neutral, Heronius is good.
And I would think that I would think that the followers that travel stay at a lot of garrisons that are along the highways and stuff. It's not uncommon.
I was just worried for a moment that if I showed up there, they would call the place that I came from. These are not exactly mine.
No, we can't afford to send runners for a visitor. But yes, when you do feel like turning in, just let me know, and we'll walk back to the keep. Nothing will harm you.
Thank you for the kindness, all three of you. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited to write the story.
With
Yes,
that said,
that's a very, very, very big book.
with that said, we will kind of close the scene here as the four of you perhaps share some stories as well, and eventually Laurel and Kandor make their way back to the garrison, and you are gifted a room for the night, a safe room, a dormitory style room that was available, and it's clean. There's a bed. There's a wash basin. You have an opportunity to kind of clean yourself up to whatever level you'd like. Torbin and Vamrid retire to wherever they crash in their whatever level of inebriation they are. And we are going to find ourselves beginning the next day back on the main timeline that we were on before, as you're heading out of town and into the Cairn Hills surrounding Diamond Lake. But before we do that, we're going to take a break. So we'll take a quick break, just a couple of minute break here, folks, and then we will be back to continue the story. You guys, great role play. That was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Anonymous for providing a hero point. So we have one group hero point that I have written down here. They didn't specify who they wanted it to go to, but then thanks to Jose for donating a special hero point to Laurel. So we really appreciate that. You guys, we are raising money for Feeding America. This is an absolutely fantastic organization that essentially helps to feed people who are in need. They work with over 200 food banks across the country and 60,000 food pantries and meal programs nationwide. They distribute billions of pounds of food each year, including fresh produce, dairy, and proteins. And for every $1 that you donate, will help to provide up to 10 meals, at least 10 meals through the Feeding America network. So Anonymous, you just provided 50 meals by donating $5. Jose, you just provided 100 meals. Is that right? At 10 times 10? That's math, folks. And I'm actually pretty proud I nailed that. But yeah, so this is your donations are leveraged substantially. So please consider, if you can, even a $5-10 donation. If you can give more, please consider that as well. We know that not everybody is able to do so. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat here again. If you don't have the means to donate, hey, that's totally okay. Take care of yourself and your family. But maybe share the link with friends, with your social networks. Let people know that there are ways. I think there's a lot of people out there right now who want to get involved and do something to help their neighbors and their community, and they just maybe don't know the best way to do it. We did a bunch of research on this Feeding America, and they're a fantastic organization. So we are 100% endorsing them, and we're doing the best we can to raise some funds. Our goal is by the 24th of this month to raise $1,000, and we are lucky to have a fantastic group of streamers that are in this with us. So I'm talking about people like Stronghold D&D, who's streaming right now, Phantom MJ, Live from the Apocalypse, Folk and Myth, Wanderer's Haven, Disorderly Dice, Phoenix Wacky, and then we've got some creative folks helping us out from Adventure Slang Productions and the House of Eidolons. We're gonna have a bunch of games going on, and we're just really trying to do our part to raise funds for Feeding America. So please consider a small donation if you can, or a big donation if you're able to do that too. We want to hit 1,000. I think we can do it as a team. I think we can do it. So with that said, we will be back in just a couple of short minutes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you shortly. my friends, I think it is time now where we will find ourselves traversing a rather rugged trail into the hill country surrounding Diamond Lake. It's a trail that some of you have traversed numerous times. It leads to a place that Laurel, you would hear the boys talking about and referring to as the Gavort Fort. And you have also heard them interestingly refer to it as a stronghold, which it most certainly is not as you look at it. You see this, well, actually, I will leave it to the party here, Torbin and Vamrid specifically, but also Kandor, describe what Laurel sees as you crest the hill and find yourself looking at the Gavort Fort, please.
Where do I start?
Anywhere you like.
Picture the fanciest Renaissance stone building you can.
Like I'm there.
It is the opposite of that. You can
Amazing.
you can see inside of the roof a bit because there's holes.
Love
you do
it.
notice on the left side there seems to be a little like crawl space going up and a little bit of a tower, like a spot that perhaps someone could sit and blast their tuba for hours. You are warned that the back entrance, though not well fortified, does have some traps from a previous group member that tried to protect us, but didn't really tell us exactly what he did. So just be very careful in the back entrance. There is an outhouse that you are warned against. There is a huge circle with a line on it. Do use it. It's almost full with creatures that are.
If left alone, they're fine.
And it has stall doors that only come up to like your midsection.
That too.
It's
when you're sitting down. We needed those materials for other things.
There is a freshly sanitized well. It needed every ounce of holiness to kill the evil that was placed down there recently by people
Goblin
that
bodies.
I don't want to mention, but it may have been chocked full of goblins.
Who put those down
bodies.
there? Who put the goblins down there?
It had to have been this Goldie person that.
I think it was Goldie. Blame it on Goldie. Blame it on
You said
Goldie.
goblins. I thought you were gonna say like dysentery or poop.
Oh, there's plenty of that.
No.
Not in the well, but
that would be in the house.
It was cleansed with fire and then holy liquids, but mostly fire. We've slowly cleaned up some of the mess. The basement had one bottle of good wine-ish.
Thank you, Bart.
It was drank at some point, but stronghold in name only, but it is ours. We have paid the taxes and liens on it, so Torbin is the proprietor of this establishment.
Industries LLC.
And we are looking into taking perhaps the mines and some other locations as summer houses, if you will. But that's a lot of paperwork I'll get into later.
As Laurel's standing there with her kind of mouth just slowly just dropping, as she's looking, Kandor will walk up behind her, gently put his hand on her shoulder and say, "You know the saying that it looks better on the inside? It does not apply here." And I'll just keep walking towards the front door.
This is what they would call in my church a male living space.
It's a bit of a fixer-upper, as I like to say. And
it does have some charm. It has some charm.
He'll open up the door and kind of lead people inside and
follow in.
And actually, Kandor's been cleaning it because Kandor's a neat freak, so he's been cleaning. You know, he's been trying.
Ground floor has been tidied. The upstairs hasn't been touched yet, other than parts of the roof. I would advise not going down into the basement. That is the owlbear cub's territory right now, and we're letting
owlbear cub.
We're letting him just kind of. That's like his zone right now. That's where he has been sleeping.
You have an owlbear cub.
And with that said, Torbin gets the idea that he should probably go check on his owlbear cub.
Well, the owl bear cub would be with you right now because you just left town. You didn't you can't just send an owl bear cub to the Gavort Fort. And
I thought
imagine that it's going to end up there. No,
I thought we already moved him.
You have not
the
been
episode,
here.
But,
you have not been here since before you went to deal with the bones of the family. So it's been a little while since you've been here.
Yeah.
We're all over the owlbear cub.
That's where he sleeps.
Let's see if I can bring up the map here for you guys.
Yeah, so you would have seen the owlbear cub as soon as we all got back together again, when we left the keep.
She's all over it. So obsessed with it.
What are you going to do what are you doing for the...
And all that, but...
Okay, hold on a sec. What are you doing, Torbin, for the cub in the basement? What exactly are you doing for it?
Well, he's going to kind of arrange. He's going to collect up some tree branches with leaves on them, and some of the rags and stuff, piles of rags and stuff like that from around the house, and kind of arrange it into a loose kind of nest for him to sleep on in the corner of the basement. And he's going to just put a couple of spare, he's got a sack of venison meat that he carries around with him, so he's going to put a couple of the bones in the nest to kind of give him the idea that's his space.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check, please.
So he feels secure there.
And do you have any skills that you think as your barbarian class that would help you out with this?
Well, I'm resistant to fear.
Okay, well that's wonderful.
At least your voice doesn't shake, at least.
Don't
eat my finger.
Dwarves are well known for the resistance to good ideas.
Yeah, other than maybe his deer stalker, kind of just his general knowledge of how they live, how they nest in the wild and stuff like that.
All right. What does that give you?
It's just, it doesn't give me anything, actually.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me tell you this. You have hero points and specials if you want to use any of those. Thanks to the donations.
I'll use one of my hero points. My daily hero points.
Okay, you have your daily. Okay, go ahead and so that's going to add a +1 to this roll. This is a wisdom check for you. And you are dealing with a wild animal.
That is an 8.
Okay. All right. So you go to work. And some of you may be there watching or not, but nevertheless,
out.
Okay. You watch as Torbin takes care here. We'll go over here to the cellar. Actually, we've got a little cellar over out on the side.
You're just hearing a steady stream of cuss words.
Absolutely. It doesn't seem like as you start to kind of walk back towards the door and give this thing a little space, you lay down the bones and things, and it sort of crunches on the bones and breaks them and swallows them whole, and then it just kind of looks back at you, and as you're sort of backing up the stairs, it just kind of follows you back towards the stairs.
All right. Well, this is your area, right? This is your room.
It reaches down and it bites your leg. Trying to pull on your pant, but it actually bites onto your leg.
He's just a friend.
You're gonna take 1 point of damage.
Friend damage.
You don't get the sense that it's trying to attack you. It's just pulling on your leg. It's like a puppy that bites at you kind of idea, and they don't know what they're doing, but it still hurts.
All right. Okay, good talk. And Torbin will he'll go back up the stairs. Sees if the owl cub will follow him. Owlbear cub.
The owlbear cub follows you back upstairs, and then as you meet with your companions, it just sort of like roams around, digging through things. It looks like it maybe like finds a mouse and like crashes through some debris trying to find it, and there's just things falling all over the place, and it just sort of like walks away without having caught it. But this kind of goes on while you're there at the Cavort Fort.
That was the next room we were going to clean anyways.
Maybe I should let him out for a little bit.
Hey Torbin. Exactly how many chickens did this thing eat in a small amount of time back in town?
I heard all of them.
All of them.
I think one or two might have got away, but
I think it might eat a lot of food if
they were
gonna
missing
get
an
it to
edge.
stay. Do you have a lot of food?
Yeah, but I kind of had the idea that, he could like hunt in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Follow his instincts.
He seems to come back to you, so.
As you say that, the owlbear cub kind of waddles over to where you're standing, Torbin, and starts biting at your pant again and catches your leg again for one more point of damage.
All right, you're going outside, pal. And he's gonna kind of grab him by the ear and start kind of directing him, or just kind of walk outside with him, but then so he's like, because the Gavort was kind of fenced in, right? So fenced in. I mean, it's like a broken stone wall with like trees that have fallen over it. So yeah, I mean, there's a perimeter, but it's permeable. Yeah, so he's gonna just let him outside.
I think he'll come back.
You grab him by the ear, and he lets out a chirp as you sort of like pinch his ear, and then he starts thinking that you're playing. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Yes. He's a good boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's usually this interesting, Laurel.
Does the owlbear cub have a name, Kandor?
Torbin?
We haven't named him yet, I don't think.
Well, there's your problem.
I think you did float the idea of Duke.
Oh yeah, because of the Dukes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, I like that
really
one.
Cute.
Yeah, it's really
All
cute.
right, Duke. Come on, let's go outside.
What'd you get for your initiative?
8.
Okay, so you won the initiative. What do you want to do? You're gonna drag him outside and like kind of shush him out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on, come on, go. You need to run around for a little bit. And he's gonna try to shove him out the door.
Yeah, you get to the back door and you kind of get him outside, and he just kind of sits on his back legs, almost like he's sitting down like a human. It looks really weird, but it just kind of looks at you, kind of staring at you.
I'll be right inside.
And you turn around and walk inside. No. I just want to know what you do. You turn around and go back in?
Yeah, I'll go back in and try to close the door.
All right, you close the door. All right, so the four of you are now inside. What is the plan, my friends?
Well,
It's probably by this point, traveling. It's probably about. It's late. It's close to midday, we'll say. Late morning to midday, like around the noon hour.
we didn't do that deed for nothing, did we, Vanred?
No. We're gonna have to sneak out of here, I think, or this thing's gonna follow us.
Oh.
Is he like an adventuring companion of yours?
No.
We just
Why
didn't have the heart.
is he here?
We didn't have the heart to kill him.
Of course not. Look at him. So forlorn out there.
We were on a previous adventure going to find out about some bodies that were stolen, and there was a building making noise. We checked the building out, and there was a full-sized mama owlbear that unleashed its fury upon us. And we had no choice but to lay the fell creature down. Unfortunately, this small runt was also there making noises, and some of my companions decided it would be a great idea to take the creature along.
He seems to be having a grand time.
Yeah.
One of them is, as I look at Torbin's bloody leg.
Do you want to bandage that,
Yeah.
Torbin?
It's just a scratch. He's obviously
Good.
wincing pretty hard.
It could get infected, you know.
Meanwhile, Torbin keeps peeking out of the window.
Duke
To
is just
check on
sitting
him.
there, just kind of looking when you look out the window, just staring at the door.
All right, so far so good. I mean,
It's just
maybe
sitting there.
I'll have to take him hunting in the morning or something.
Have you tried to train him?
It's still pretty early. I mean, we haven't had a lot of time.
How long has he been with you all?
We're
A couple of days,
like a
probably.
couple of days.
We immediately went to the seediest tavern in town to try to get some information and shake down a mob boss.
Is that when I met you?
No.
That was the day before.
Now, when I described that we tried to shoot a mob boss, kind of the opposite happened, but we still got the information, and then we did beat down some hack wizard. Yes,
Yeah, that
it's
goes
only been a
weird.
few days.
You all are the most interesting people that I have talked to so far. This is
I
excellent.
hear you.
So, my
So
friends,
what's
I will
the-
ask the question again. What
what's
would you
the
like to
plan?
do? Are you going to stick around the Gavort Fort and do things at the Gavort Fort, or do you want to head back to the Whispering Cairn with your new companion and see what happens there?
You want to take him with us?
It's still pretty early, right?
It's
Yeah.
midday.
Yeah.
Yep, right around noon. The sun is at its zenith in
Well.
the sky.
I say we pack up and go.
What's up,
Okay.
Chuck? Thank you for being here.
I think
You
that-
look out the window again, Torbin, and you watch as Duke is just sort of like, it looks like he's chasing a bird around the yard in the back. Like just pouncing on it, and it's in the bird. You're not sure what kind of bird it is. It's a small songbird, just flies up onto the fence line and then drops back down and starts eating seeds in the grasses. And then Duke is trying to sneak up on it and pounces, and the bird gets away like he's trying to learn.
Yeah, attaboy. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, I know that he could very well just like wander off and I'd probably never see him again. But, it was fun while it lasted. That's kind of the way I was looking at it.
Listen, I say if we head out and we come back and he's still here, yeah, he'll never leave you.
Seems he doesn't have much place else to go.
Just leave more food in the basement if we can. He may come back. He may stick around.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Would it not be an opportunity wasted to have an owlbear companion in battle?
He's too young.
I mean,
Isn't that when they
possibly.
start learning?
I just don't want him to make a bad decision at the wrong time.
What he's trying to say is it's going to be really tough carrying him 50 feet up or 40 feet up a wall that we're going to have to climb. That's going to be real tough.
That does make
That's
sense.
the first Laurel, that you've heard of the challenges that might await you in the Whispering Cairn, a climb of some 40 to 60 feet.
No,
It's easy.
we've got it scoped out with rope and pitons, so it won't be too tough to climb it, but it would be with this young owlbear, because I think you'd get your face eaten off if I had to place a bet, to be honest.
Doesn't look like it knows how to use pitons. No.
No.
We'd probably try to eat them.
If they taste anything like Torbin, it would.
So I'm going to start gathering up supplies while the conversation's going, figuring, okay, we're on the move again. Make sure I have my bandages, stuff like that.
Laurel will help kind of like pack up her backpack, and then anyone who needs help like getting their stuff together.
We should, full disclosure, we ran into a ghost in there in the mine, the cairn. And my advice would be not to cross him, like just be real polite.
It's still there.
Goldie had a little bit of a confrontation with him and ended up prematurely aging.
He may not be there, right?
It's a ghost. It's a ghost?
We made a bargain with the ghost. We took care of its family who was dug up improperly, so we were able to lay them to rest. So our part of the bargain is fulfilled. They can pass on to the other side well, and he is going to assist us going farther in after the 50-foot climb, of course. Which, again, the little owlbear probably would have a problem with all of this. See, there are many things that the owlbear would be ill-equipped to perform.
He's out of his element.
Perhaps. As a thumbed individual.
Right.
I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yes.
Oh.
You will be a key member of this party. I feel it. There will be stories written about you as well, like the rest of this heroic group.
Oh, hopefully I can just be even off to the side in all of this. I'm very excited to see what a fraction of what you three have seen. This is very exciting.
Most of those heroic stories are instrumentals played by the tuba, but they are heroic stories nonetheless.
What is the deal with the tuba?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, and I fired up. I'm curious what the owlbear does when I play a small tune.
Are you watching out the window to the backyard?
Yeah, once Vamrid starts playing, Torbin's going to run to the window and just see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. Immediately when the first note is played, Torbin, as you're watching, Duke just stops dead in his tracks and like gets really low to the ground.
He doesn't like that.
Doesn't move.
Oh no.
I feel so bad for the guy.
It
Because I
might come
love
in
that
handy.
too, but
So
He's just a
you
baby.
guys, we're inside a smaller house, so it's real loud in here. I mean, I know
Some of the
and
dust
stuff.
is falling down from the rafters
Yeah.
and pieces of plaster are like dropping down from.
Yes.
So to paint the scene here a little bit more, Laurel, like the first floor of this place is in disarray, but mostly intact. There's a stairway that goes up to a second story that leads into basically nothing, as the second story has all but disappeared. It's fallen in. It has deteriorated to the point where it's very unsafe to be up there. So there's, you can see through to like the sky, basically. Like if it
Yeah.
rained, you would get wet in here.
Open air.
that's the shower, by the way.
There's a lot of repairs that still need to be done on this place to make it truly habitable. But yeah, as Vamrid is playing this dirge of whatever flavor Vamrid does, yeah, pieces of plaster are falling off the walls and the ceiling, that sort of thing.
If we have neighbors, they know we're home.
I don't know about neighbors, but you have so many visitors from the sky in here.
Yeah.
This is quite a nice place. I know that it's run down, but
It's ours.
it's yours. It's nice.
It's yours.
We should travel and begin adventuring and hope that our little friend stays.
Yes.
Or, yes.
Okay, so as the four of you gather your things, Torbin, you step out into the backyard to take one last sort of peek on Duke, and you don't see Duke anywhere. Duke's not in the backyard.
Shit.
Just maybe
All right.
roaming about doing Duke stuff. You don't know. you could try to find them, but it's up to you. No one else knows this right now. You're just kind of looking outside one last time to catch a glimpse. It's not like the yard is fenced in fully, so Duke could be doing whatever Duke does.
Yeah. Torbin will go around to the back of the house and just put a small pile of deer meat on the stairs to the basement. The little set of stairs that lead down to in the back.
Sure. Okay.
Just to kind of try to guide him back to the basement.
Sure. That makes sense. All right, cool. I like that.
If he comes back, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So with that said, the four of you depart the Gavort Fort and begin to head up this scree slope. It is fairly well traveled by this point. I mean, there was a path there before, but it was covered in bramble and branches, and it hadn't really been used for quite a long time, maybe decades even. But since the party has set up their little headquarters, their base camp, if you will, at the Gavort Fort, and they have been traveling back and forth to the entrance of the Whispering Cairn, which they may be telling you stories about as you're traveling up into the hills and that sort of thing. So you may have some knowledge of that as you're going into it, but it was all but hidden from view when they first were looking for it, and they found it and cleared the opening so that they could make their way inside of this place. And it is an interesting place, and you are met at when you rise up to this plateau, and there's this portal that opens. There's sort of these branches that have been broken and moved out of the way recently by your team. You can see that there's some old runes or old carvings in the stone archway that sort of frames this dark portal into the hillside, long since weathered. Really, you can't make much out of them in terms of any information or even style of construction. It just is weathered from hundreds of years of wind and water and that sort of thing. But yeah, you begin to walk into this place, and I'm gonna bring your attention to the map here, because I'm just gonna walk you through a few things. So let's bring up the map. All right, so you find yourself, and your tokens aren't on this map, but you're with the torch at this point. So there's this little bit of a natural light that filters in behind you as you walk in down this fairly broad corridor. This is approximately, the corridor width is approximately 20 feet. The ceilings above is arched, fairly ancient construction. There are interesting, strange grooves in the sides of the walls that it's kind of unclear what those are for. The air here is cool. It smells damp. You can smell earth and a little bit of decay. Possibly even more offensive aromas of death at times, but it's not pervasive. But there has been, and they've probably told you, there's some battle that has been had inside of here. Some strange geometric shapes along the walls. And then as you move deeper in, you find that there are some alcoves to the north and to the south. They tell you about how in the north alcove they found the remains of a little camp, a bedroll, and some personal effects, not of just mundane things, not much to speak of. And to the south there is another alcove to the south that has a circular basin in the floor, a stone basin that is built into the floor. And it probably where a brazier used to be. There's some anchor points there, but nothing too crazy. They did, when they first came in here, notice that there were tracks about. Is there anything else that you would mention about this space, or anything you would do at this point as you're walking, Laurel, into this kind of reverent and at the same time maybe slightly off-putting space?
Her eyes are just open, and her voice is like a reverent whisper, as she is just kind of asking follow-up questions about, like, oh, what kind of brazier, what kind of purpose do you think it serves, and like stuff like that. As she has her book out, she is writing as we're all walking, and doing little, just kind of base level, like, sketches of everything, and putting little stars in her notes for like where she'd like to embellish some things later, potentially. Just for her own imagination.
I mean, we're still trying to figure out some of this symbolism. So if you see anything you recognize, let us know.
I will. I'll keep an eye out. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah, it is strange.
You said there was a ghost here. Why was there a ghost here?
Anyway, we killed some wolves up here. This is where the wolves attacked us. No.
The what?
Yeah, the ghost, he's further up a little bit. We'll get there.
You continue on, and there is an interesting alcove to the north, some 40 feet to the north, and this is where Vamrid might point out where he and Osric had collected some etchings at the base of a stone platform, some sort of weird device maybe. It was unclear, but you had gotten, I think Osric had asked Olaston to look into things. It spurred some of the memories of the Wind Dukes of Aqaa, and along the base is a rune that Vamrid would point out as symbolizing the name Zazel, which he mentioned earlier as one of the Wind Dukes that you all believe was entombed here. To the south, there is a caved-in area where that bars any additional movement to the south, but it looks like the ceiling had collapsed here. What was beyond at one point is unclear. And as Torbin was indicating, as you find yourselves in this broad room with a high ceiling, there is a somewhat collapsed ceiling with a narrow passageway that leads to the south here. And if you were to poke your head in there, you'd see all kinds of, Goldie's not here, all kinds of bones. This is where the wolves were lairing. They had a wolf's den in here, down in this area. And you guys found a couple of interesting things, including one of the lanterns, which you probably would be maybe chatting with Laurel about at this point. Let me see if I can... While you guys are talking, let me see if I can grab a Kandor. There we go.
Yeah, so, I mean, this whole area that we've just been through is just the entrance. And then you'll see this great room up ahead where a lot of the really interesting stuff starts.
How far have you been inside of this structure? How deep does it go?
We don't even know yet.
We've been several layers down in different areas, and also we've gone up that climb that I spoke about. I believe that the challenges they put in here, though are not extremely difficult, are to keep people that should not get to these tools away. So we've had to go through a lot of different places, and there were some traps we had to take care of, different bugs like I explained before. Obviously other Tomb Raider type people have tried to come in here in the past and met their doom. They were unfortunate and careless. We've been far less careless than that.
You all seem very exacting.
Well, yeah, I do have a lot of experience in this sort of thing. Anyways, let's move on.
You would probably bring Laurel up. There are a set of stairs in this northern alcove that lead up to a platform that contains some interesting slabs of masonry that are adorned with bas relief of strange creatures that are lithe and their arms long, their gaze powerful, their heads bald. They look perhaps sibilant in their demeanor and in the way that they're depicted, but it's certainly an interesting diorama. And what's interesting about it is as you stand in the middle of it, Laurel, like right about where the torch is now, you would see that there is a depiction of 7 hallways, each of them with a colored lantern at the end of them. And it almost looks real when you stand right in the center. It looks like there could potentially be hallways there, but you walk up and run your hands over the stone, and it's just a strange stone with some sort of illusory, or not really like an illusion magic, but sort of like a trick of the eye
Optical,
sort of thing.
yeah.
Optical illusion, yeah. Yep.
Does it mean anything to me, like spiritually or significantly?
Not initially, but the others might tell you some of the stories of them figuring out the puzzles ahead in the next chamber with different colored lanterns that they had to collect in order to get past a trap that was devised to blow them off the 60-foot ledge and kill them, which it almost did to a couple of them. There was a whole session of trying to climb this thing. It was insane. But anyhow, so they might regale that to you. Anything that you guys,
the whole thing.
You take a little bit of time while Laurel is sketching and taking notes in this big book. What are the rest of you doing in this chamber? Let's go to Torbin.
Torbin is just he's walking around and just checking to see if anything has changed, visibly changed since last time we were in here. Like maybe checking for other tracks or other signs of like insects or anything in particular, I guess.
Sure.
Of the monstrous variety.
That makes sense to me. Okay, so you begin to sort of look around. You can see that the spiders that are in this mass of webs, they're tiny spiders, like small spider swarms kind of thing. They have done a good job of sort of recreating the web boundary between this room and the next one over the last couple of days. But you can see how there is some sort of tear through them that looks relatively fresh. And that guides you to look down at the ground, and you can see that there are tracks on the ground that seem recent, like within the last couple of hours. Your cunning barbarian sense can tell you that there is something's been here. Or someone.
Is it clear if they're like boot tracks or just general like creature impressions? Like is it like a boot or a...
They're not boots. They look as though they are footprints.
Hmm.
Give me an intelligence check.
He's gonna lean over to Vamred and say, I think something's come through here recently.
What's up, Penborough? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
That was absolutely horrible. I rolled a 3, and I think intelligence is -1 for him.
Okay, so that's not going to quite do it, but you get the sense that it's more than one creature. Oh, thank you so much, Penborough, for the donation. Very, very helpful.
Does it look anything like that big creature that we fought and fled that we didn't quite kill because it was injured and it ran away?
Oh yeah, the walking eyeball.
Yes, with claws.
You know what, Vamrid? Yeah,
spider.
you're just hearing this, Laurel, and like,
no.
Her head pops up. What?
I'm asking.
Don't panic,
Keeper. See, every single story that I've said, I've made it all seem like the traps and creatures we fought were mere child's play. I'm not describing the horrors.
Give me
those will be a happy surprise.
An intelligence check. But if you want to, before you roll it, you do have a hero point in your inventory. You also have 4 hero points and 5 specials. Thank you to the chat for that. We should probably use some of these.
Well, I will use the one that I get to start with and the one that Bart gave me.
Okay, so I will erase the hero points. That's going to be a +2 to this roll. Intelligence.
Yes. Do a good job. Do a good job. Yay! It's an 11.
An 11 on an intelligence for Vamrid. Okay. It does not look like insect legs. It looks like humanoid leg footprints, but smaller and bootless.
So like a halfling type, maybe. Or child's.
Mm-hmm.
Or the owlbear beat us in here.
Definitely not owlbear tracks.
Damn it, Duke.
What are you guys looking at? I was like polishing my sword the whole time.
I bet you were.
That sounds bad.
Ayo.
Well, we were just
Hey.
checking out this. There's something went through here. We better go check it out.
Which way did they lead?
This is private property, after all. He's gonna
You
say
shout-
kind of
you
in an
shout?
elevated.
Okay.
No, just like a elevated voice.
It echoes.
Like,
Your voice echoes through this place, and you get the sense that it's likely that whatever might be, if they're still here, they probably heard you.
Which way did the feet lead? In or out of here?
As
Or
best
all over?
Torbin knows, with the roll that he made, is that they lead
All over.
into through the webbing and into the next room of the cairn. This is a Laurel. This is a big like archway that leads in deeper into the cairn.
Should we try to follow it?
yeah, Torbin's gonna go in.
Prepare for a large chamber with separate sections with torches, and look around first before touching stuff. I'll just put it that way. It's a big sarcophagus thing in the middle, representing the creatures that built this. You'll notice that they're very large creatures.
Who is holding the torch?
I was just gonna say Torbin might light his own so that we have more than one.
Okay, so Torbin is leading the way with the torch. Who is following?
I'll carry a torch.
Okay, so Laurel's got a
Um,
torch as well and is following Torbin.
Yeah, she'd be rushing up behind.
Okay, and then who's next after that? Vamrid or Kandor?
Kandor is just going to pick up his shield and get it on. He's going to tighten up his baldric, put his sword back in its scabbard, and then he's going to heave a big sigh. And he's going to, all right. And he's just going to kind of walk right, he's got the helm going down. He's walking in. Yeah.
Okay, all
And then
right.
I guess Vamrid's going to bring up the rear, I guess.
Rear guard, yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
Bringing up the music.
All right. So we'll move into the next part of the cairn. Let me pop open a couple of torches for you. Okay. So you find yourself walking up some stairs, making your way through the webbing, probably with your torch. You guys can hold up right there. Probably with your torch, Torbin, as you're walking in, you sort of like burn away some of the webs so you can get through without, getting covered in webs. And the spiders scurry off into different directions to escape whatever fear they have of the flame and of your presence. But yeah, you find yourselves entering into the opening of this broad corridor. You're just walking in. You kind of announced your presence already as you're moving into this place. And let's see, Torbin, give me a wisdom check, please. You could use a hero point if you want to, or not. It's up to you. You have 3 hero points and 5 specials.
In the meantime, could I ask a question about the spiders?
Absolutely. What would you like to
Are they
ask?
venomous?
How would you know, Laurel?
She likes bugs.
Okay, give me an intelligence check.
Dave, I rolled a 13.
Okay.
16 on the die. 16 secondary total.
Okay. All right. You get the sense that they probably are venomous. I don't know if you know exactly what kind of spiders these are, but they give off some fairly
Venomous vibes.
They're venomy vibes. Yeah, for lack of a better term.
She has a small steel flask. She's going to try to catch one of the spiders.
Okay. All right. This will be interesting. Go ahead and give me a. Let's do a dexterity check.
If I see this, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my exalts for this. Because I don't want our cleric to meet their end immediately by getting bit by a venomous spider. So when I see the interest and the moving, I'm going to go ahead and inspire, you got this, be careful, nimble fingers.
What does exalt do? And does it make results better on the die?
+2 to an attribute check.
That turns my 6 into an 8.
All right. You do have 5 specials, but I don't know if you want to burn specials on this. It's up to you.
That's a lot of specials.
Should we use one to get you up to 10?
It would take a lot. I mean, this is not a prime for your dexterity, so yeah.
No, I'll just let it be. It's an 8. It's 8
Okay.
total. Secondary.
Okay. All right. So you get a couple in the jar, actually, but in the process, you get bit as some of the swarm climbs onto your hand and is going to do 3 points of damage on your hand. And let me just look at something here. Spider. Ooh, shit. Okay. Let's see.
I don't like the sound of that.
Nobody wants to hear "ooh shit" from the DM or the GM.
Yeah, seriously.
Give me a Constitution check, please.
Hear this thing. It's gonna be awesome. That's a 9. Secondary.
Oh no. Okay. So you feel the sting, and hey, you were right. They are venomous. Unfortunately, that means you take 3 more points of damage.
Hey guys,
And
guess what?
You feel a little woozy.
I'm feeling a little weird.
Yeah. Your hand
These
is
guys
like
are
kind of goes
awesome.
numb. Your hand goes numb.
Guys, these guys are awesome. These guys are chill.
Meanwhile, Torbin, as you are making your way forward, the others kind of falling behind you. I'm going to move these tokens back a little bit because the others are still far behind you. You hear something ahead, and before you can even react, there is the familiar twang of a bowstring.
Yep.
And I would like everyone to go ahead and roll initiative and drop it in the initiative tracker. I am going to, they're going to get a surprise round on Torbin because of your roll did not meet the threshold. So let me get a chance here. Let me bring this up.
Very much.
There we go.
Not horrible.
I'm not in the initiative tracker.
Okay, I can fix that.
Yep, no problem. Just let you know.
There you go. You should be in there now. I'm not sure why Laurel's in there twice, but let me do
There, I'm
this.
sorry, there I am.
You get to go twice?
Or did I not see that?
No,
Can
I
you
will.
pull out Goldie
take-
and Osric?
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody is in there. Let me get a roll. Ooh. Okay. All right. So it looks like Kandor, you are at the top of the order.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What would you are basically kind of back by the situation with the poison spiders and the numb hand right now.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking at Torbin. I was, watching Laurel and saw what she was doing, and then heard her exclamation and grabbing at her hand, and literally like my 10 years now of living at the keep and my training, like instinctively like whipped out a bandage from my belt pouch and just really just grabbed her hand, and I'm like, you can't do this by yourself with one hand, and I just start putting a bandage on her hand and try to heal her back a few points.
Okay,
It's
give
like
me
a hug from my hand.
give a wisdom or intelligence check, and if you are successful, you'll get an extra healing.
All right, wisdom. Okay, wisdom is my wisdom's a 14. I rolled a 15 plus 1 is a 16, and it's a prime.
16 total. Okay, so that is a success. So you would heal back 3 hit points total.
Oh,
with
that's
that.
sick.
So 2 from the bandage, and then 1 additional for your skill.
And as I'm doing it, I'm just saying to her, even the smallest things in this place really suck.
It really seems that way. Thank you, man.
Yes, yes. And then I hear the twang, and that's my turn. I'm gonna whip around to see what that sound was.
Yeah, it is. It's a multiple twangs, as it were. Let's see.
Torbin.
All right, so Torbin, you don't see this because it's coming from out of the darkness, but it is going to. There's one arrow first comes at you. That is going to be a total of 14 to hit. I think that misses you with your AC.
Yeah.
You have a 16 AC. Yep. Okay. A second one comes in. You see it. You see the arrow go past you and hit the wall. The second one is at 19 total.
That hits.
Yep. For 4 points of damage as you take an arrow to the chest and you look down at the arrow. Give me an intelligence check really quick. A third arrow is coming at you. That's a natural 20. I'm so sorry.
Oh
My
buddy.
God.
That is going to be a total of 6 more points of damage. What's your int check?
Sorry, one more sec. Hold on.
That's right. It's all right. Lots going on. I got to change the music. Hold on. Enough of this serene business.
An intelligence check.
Yep. There we go. This track slaps. Guys, we are listening
10.
to Tabletop Audio, if you're wondering. They are freaking awesome. So I'm going to put their link in the chat. Check them out. A 10 total. They're short bow arrows. They look like they're short bow arrows. They look not well made. The fletching is old and kind of grimy. The arrows the one that's laying at your feet near the wall they look like goblin arrows.
Okay.
That is their actually that was their surprise attack. Then Kandor, you'd be able to do your thing, and then we're back in the initiative order. Sorry, I kind of botched that up, but here we go.
That's right. That's right.
You are. Let's see. It is Torbin's turn with a 7.
Well, I don't have much choice here. I got to run into the room, but do I have a general idea of where the arrows came from?
Yeah, I think you would get the sense that they came from this direction.
Straight ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, right there.
Torbin will just say, "I think we got goblins," and he's gonna. Wait, what was the thing with movement, Dave?
You can move half your movement and still attack, or you can just move your full movement, but you wouldn't be able to attack. And once you attack, you are done moving, so you can't like split your movement.
Okay. So he's gonna move up to here. Is he able to see a goblin or anything?
You don't see any targets.
Is there anything equivalent to the dodge action?
There is.
TNC?
If you look on the combat page of the cheat sheet, you can take a dodge action, but you have to declare it before initiative is rolled.
Oh, okay.
It's in that highlighted section there, the yellow highlighted section.
Well, I can't really do much, so I guess that's my turn.
Okay. All right.
Well, I guess I'll move. I'll move some more.
Yeah, you can use your full movement.
Since I can't see anything, I'm gonna move. Can I get all the way up to where the sarcophagus thing is in the middle?
What's your movement?
Shit.
Your movement is 20 feet.
Oh, it's only 20 feet.
Yep.
Well, I'll just move 5 more feet then.
Okay. All right. Okay, that is your turn. That brings us to Vamrid. You hear Torbin call out, "Hey, I think we got goblins."
Oh,
And a lot of screams as well.
If I can take a quick blast on the tuba and just run after him.
All right.
So, and I can move just my movement.
Well, let's see here. There's walking, jogging, running.
Oh, I'd run. I'd run
right,
to
so-
my
and Torbin,
brethren.
You can modify your decision too if you want, but if you were running, it would be like you'd be able to go 80 feet.
I'll run
But
up to,
But you
I'll
wouldn't be able
run
to
up.
do
Would you
anything else besides that.
would you allow me to run up to the edge of that sarcophagus area? Just
Absolutely.
like 10 more feet? Okay.
Yep.
I'm just gonna run up
Yep.
to that.
Okay.
I mean, I'd love
Because it's just like the closest ounce of cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd
exactly.
like to
There's
run
really
up
not a whole lot of
Torbin.
cover in there. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you can run up to 80 feet, which should get you there.
Does that still allow me to at least blow on the tuba once?
No, that would take everything.
You're out of breath.
That's
You
fair.
don't have the.
But I got it ready. I've got it on my arm, held up in front of me like a shield, sword out.
Yes, you do. All right, that brings us to Laurel.
Oh man. Okay. I'm looking at my spells here. I think for now what we're gonna do is run up and catch up with everyone. And that's it.
Okay.
So if she can like run and sprint and put herself like right behind them. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you in the darkness.
Just hand Kandor the torch and take off running. Okay.
With a-
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You make your way up there. That brings us to the end of the initiative. Or let's go ahead and roll initiative again.
Getting a spell ready.
Oh shit! I rolled a 9 again.
I roll a Todd Stashwick.
I rolled an 8.
All right, Kandor, you're at the top of the order. What do you want to do?
Kandor just sees Laurel just take off sprinting, and the torch is sitting there on the steps, and he just picks it up and mutters to himself, and I was going to tell her to be careful, and I'm just going to run. Oops, I can't move the torch. There you go.
This weird crypt girl keeps running into.
And the torch, I have my shield, so the torch is kind of like cupped in my hand inside the shield. It's not a hold shield like a round one. It's your arm goes in a sling. So as soon as I get up to Laurel, I'm just like, your torch, my lady? as like I'm drawing my sword with my free hand as I handed her the torch.
Okay. Sweet. So this is where you guys are all positioned here. That was your turn, Kandor.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Couple of things happen here. You guys watch as these little goblin heads pop up from the other side of the sarcophagus, and they are going to fire their bows at you.
That's not very friendly.
It's not. You hear them kind of shouting, and one of them shouts really loud, and it's very strange. But this smallish pig, like a sow, just takes off running, like right past Torbin and Kandor, and disappears into the darkness.
Pig, you said?
Pig, yep, just races past you.
One more
And then
pet.
some arrows come flying at you. Torbin, the first one's coming for you. That's an 18 on the die. That is 1 point of damage. The second one is going to be
Okay.
at Kandor. That is a... that is a 16, Kandor.
If it meets, it beats. I move my shield to block it, but it hit me instead.
4 points of damage as a goblin arrow pierces your skin. The third one is going to shoot at Vamrid. That is a 16 as well, Vamrid. I don't think that hits you, though, with your shield, your tuba
Does
shield.
not.
Yep.
Pink off the tuba.
Absolutely. And then there's another shot from the darkness that is coming towards, let's just see, it's either going to be Laurel or Vamrid. 1 through 3, it's Laurel. 4, 5, 6, it's Vamrid. It's Laurel.
Bring it.
That is a 3 total. It misses you wildly and goes sailing over the top of your heads. That is their turn, and they drop back down and are hiding themselves on the other side of the sarcophagus. It is Laurel, it's your turn.
Laurel is going to do what she would have done last round if she'd read her spell correctly. They just popped back down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so positioned far enough away that it doesn't envelop us. For a diameter of 20 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you can hit all 3 of those guys with that.
Yeah. She's going to cast Soundstorm. Her voice kind of reverberates throughout the chamber as she says, "The heroes entered the crypt and they made it safe."
Soundstorm. This one is pretty intense.
My favorite spell so far.
The caster's prayer strikes all
You know how I
creatures
feel
in the
about
area
it.
of effect for 1d8 points of damage.
Okay, go ahead and they get no defense on it.
They must make a wisdom save or be stunned, for a round.
All right, go ahead and roll some damage. Give me 3d8 rolls, please.
Eat my shorts. That's a 7, a 6, and a 3.
Okay. You just hear this cry of pain coming from one individual. And that is coming from right here. As they stand up, what does the spell look like when you let it rip?
It doesn't look like anything. It's just the sound of her voice. Actually, you know what? There's a little bit of like a sound wave, like almost like an explosion going off, where the pebbles on the ground kind of shake a little bit.
All right, I'm going to make a wisdom save. No, I'm not. I'm going to fail a wisdom save. As the individual here, number 3, like gets up, they drop their bow, they throw their hands over their ears, and then they just like stop, and they're just sort of swaying, stunned. Yes. The other 2 you're not sure about. Nice job, Laurel. Anything? Well, you did your action. You did your spell. You can't move after you take action like that. So we will go to Vamrid next.
It's time for some dwarven justice. I'm walking up to this goblin and giving him a little what for.
Okay. He is easy pickings. Go ahead and add. Well, no, he's stunned. So let me look at the stunned condition here really quick, because it's going to be pretty easy to hit this guy. His AC is -2. So yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Dwarves might have an ability against goblins too. Just
I know.
heads up.
Yeah, +1 to hit. So that's
Okay.
a
To hit
14.
goblins.
14 to hit. With the penalty because of the stunned, you hit.
Good. With my broadsword.
Yeah.
That's 4 solid damage. Thanks, D-Force.
Go ahead and describe how you absolutely obliterate this poor little goblin fella.
Well, I mean, he's got his hands on his ears, probably blood coming down from his ears, and I just run up and just take the head right off like any dwarven hero would do to a little gobble bastard.
With the hands.
Yep.
Like the sword is high in the air.
This poor little gobbo bastard who is just here trying to loot the cairn, just like anybody else.
Our cairn. Loot our
Somebody
cairn.
comes by and just
private property.
They were
Blast
just
them.
innocently firing arrows at innocents when we came along.
to defend yourself, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, you totally cut this goblin down, and as you, we'll say you're kind of like standing right here when you do it, just because. You look, you can see that these 2 goblins, they're laying down in a pool of blood that's coming out of their ears, and they are not moving. They are dead. But you also know that there was an arrow that came from this direction. Torbin, it's your turn. What's up, Folk and Myth? Welcome in. Thanks for helping us out with the fundraiser. Hope you're having a good night.
Torbin's idea was to run around this and get the guy that was closest to him. So I think he'll run up here. Can he see any other goblins around?
No, you cannot.
Okay. So he's going to keep running.
There's a lot of beetle goo all over the floor. Big sticky piles of dead beetles.
He's going to just... he's going to run up to about here to try to get a little closer with the light and see if he can illuminate where the other one is, maybe, if there's any more. But he's standing there with his sword and is ready to hit something, but he doesn't see anything to hit.
Yep, you do not see a target right now.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go ahead and roll.
He's got 3 arrows sticking out of him.
Yes, he does. Let's roll initiative again, guys. New round.
Woo!
Ten.
Nice. All right. Torbin at the top with the 10. What would you like to do, sir?
He's going to continue running into the cairn to see if he can find any more goblins. So I think that's about half of his...
10 feet would be half your movement, which is right about there. And as you step in between these huge sticky pools of dead beetles, you can see that there is a goblin to the south here, right here.
Can he try chucking one of his javelins at this guy?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah. All right, so he's going to reach behind him and pull out and throw his javelin. He's got a couple of them. Let's see this one. That's a 17.
17 hits.
All right.
Just a torch in one hand and a javelin flies across the open space.
Yes.
That's a 4 on the 1d4 plus 2, so 6 points of piercing damage.
Describe for me how you kill this goblin with the javelin. As he sees you come. Hold on a sec. He sees you come around with the light of the torch. He kind of looks up at you with these wide eyes, and it looks like he's about to run. And you just fire this javelin. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just gonna catch him like right high mid body, like right through the neck, basically, like base of his neck, and it's just gonna knock him over and take him out.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. All right, yeah. He drops. And that's the end of your turn. Doing your shouting, and then it is their turn. No additional attacks come out of the darkness. Vamrin, it's your turn.
No sounds or anything like that?
Give me a wisdom check. As you try to listen for any movement or anything like that. Scampering. Any sort of communication. You hear nothing but the beating of your heart after slicing this goblin down so heroically.
Well, in that case, I'd like to hear the beating of my doom tuba. So I blasted.
So anyway, I started blasting.
And then can I take half of my movement over to Torbin and high-five him after that sweet javelin shot? Because if he didn't kill him, I was going to throw some shade at the goblin. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Horn blown, high five given.
All right, that's your turn, Kandor. You're muted, Jeff.
Muted. Kandor sees that whole exchange and sees them high-fiving, and he just looks down. He's just like, shit, and just like rips the arrow out, and just, I'm just gonna cast a heal light wound spell on myself.
Okay.
Which is a 1d8. Wait, is it 1d8? I thought I wrote it down.
Yes. Heal light wounds is 1d8.
Yeah. And I get 5 back, and I had taken 4 damage, so I'm feeling pretty good.
You're feeling good, yeah. All right, that's your turn, Laurel.
I think she will. Oh, I've been weighing options. I think she's gonna stand up on top of this thing.
Okay. So as you approach it, you can see that it looks to be a holy relic of some significance. It is a sarcophagus, and atop the sarcophagus is the carving of a creature humanoid with similar to the individuals that were in the diorama that you had looked at in the previous room. This is the tomb and the sarcophagus of Zazael, the warrior, the Vati warrior who was laid to rest here, as Vamrid had described to you. This warrior of order who had fought in the wars against chaos across the cosmos and had fallen on the battlefields of Pesh. So these are things that Vamrid probably would have told you in your travels. And as you climb atop it, you can see that it bears that same runic inscription upon a depiction of a scarab beetle on a necklace, like a pendant shaped to be like a scarab beetle that's made out of stone, because this is a stone sarcophagus, and it has that same symbol of Zazael on it. And as you stand up on it, what are you going to do?
She takes like a protective sort of stance, careful not to tread on like the beautiful, like stuff, but kind of like wide stance on top of it, just looking around. Come get some!
Your
just yells.
voice echoes through the cavern and echoes and echoes and dissipates and disappears into the darkness, and there is no response, there is no sound, and for all intents and purposes, there is no foe for you to get at this point. You look around at your companions. They are standing celebratory. Kandor is bandaging himself, and you look around at this place, and it is immense and heavy in its significance. You look back down at the sarcophagus lid, and you start to wonder what the story was of Zazael, and how did they find themselves in this world after having traveled the cosmos in these battles against chaos. And as the 4 of you stand in this place, everything goes quiet again. You can hear your hearts beating. You don't hear the skittering of any foes in the darkness at this point. You look around at the individuals that you had slain here, these goblins, and they are unfamiliar to you. I mean, they look like just goblins. All goblins kind of look alike at this point, but I will say that they have some belongings on them. They have short swords, short bows, crudely made, probably not worth anything. Out of the 4 of them, you could probably scavenge 6 copper pieces. They look like they were trying to find riches, maybe having tracked your path to this place. And obviously you caught them in the act of trying to gather some things. You can see that they have taken one of the lanterns off of one of the hooks that it hangs on, as if they were going to take the lantern with them. But they had not figured out any of the puzzles or any of the ways to access the other parts of this space and of this tomb. And it's quiet here. And I think what we'll do is we'll end the session here with the 4 of you standing in this space. And if there's anything you want to quickly say or do at this point, we'll go around the table really quick. But this is where we're going to pick up next week. So let's go first to Vamrid.
Did the pig have a saddle, by the way? Or was
The
it
pig
just
did
a
not.
pig?
It was just a sow pig. It had a piece of rope tied around its neck, and it looked like a leash of some kind. And that thing disappeared into the darkness when you guys first encountered the goblins.
I bet Duke would like it.
He'll probably find it.
Okay.
We'll
Torbin,
see.
anything that you would want to do here while you're sort of pulling things together?
Torbin is kind of trying to gather himself. He's got an arrow sticking out of his arm, his leg right above the knee, and he's got one that really hurts. That natural 20 is kind of embedded in his lower side, little above his hip bone, and he is heavy breathing, thinking, let's get these lanterns lit and make sure there's no more in here.
Okay.
And he's
Okay.
hanging on.
All right, Kandor, how about you?
Kandor, after just doing a quick bandage on himself, walks over to where Laurel is standing on top of the tomb, looks up at her and says, so you like to play with bad spiders? You like to shout into the darkness, challenging anyone who might be there? I think you'll fit in very nicely with us. Now let's go take care of Torbin. He looks like he's got a little problem.
Awesome. And then finally, Laurel.
Yeah, she just smiles broadly at Kandor and follows him over to Torbin. She is 100% going to cast Heal Light Wounds on Torbin.
Okay, let's do that right now. Go ahead and roll that, please.
Okay.
Pulling the arrows out. Do you want to keep it?
A spell heals 1d8 points of damage. Are we technically in like a safe spot where he gets all of it?
No.
That
This
would
is
be
not
the
safe.
Gavort for it, probably.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The reward point's questionable.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh no, my
Depending-
computer's freezing.
That's right. We
Depending
can
on
hear
whether
you.
Duke's
What did
home.
you roll?
Let me just roll it on the here really quick.
Yeah.
That's a 7. That's a 7.
Okay. All right. Good
Ooh,
job.
nice.
So Torbin, you heal 7 hit points. And it feels
That is
real
nice.
good. As you are doing all these things and preparing yourselves for what comes next, you hear echoing from the corridor that leads to the shaft that goes up to where you're headed. You hear a loud sound of a latch, and it just echoes down through the darkness. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end tonight's session. We'll pick up here next week when we dive back into the Age of Worms. Thank you, everyone, so very much for being here and playing. You guys are awesome. Grace, welcome to the crew. We're so happy to have you here. We're going to
Very
go
happy
around
to
and
be
do
here.
some outros here in a second, but I want to thank everybody who has donated so far to our fundraising effort. Again, we are in the process of raising funds for Feeding America, which is an absolutely fantastic organization whose mission is to ensure that every person has access to the food they need to thrive. It's crazy. I'm looking at some of the statistics. 1 in 7 people in America face hunger, including 1 in 5 children. It's worse now because of the SNAP benefits that are not being allocated to people who need them. So it's more important now than ever for us to stand together and to address this issue. So I'm really, really excited that we have been able to pull together an absolutely fantastic group of streamers. Our stream team is powerful in numbers, even though we are individuals and we are not of great means by any stretch of the imagination. We do have great connections in the community, and we have a very generous community, as we've seen tonight. We are working with our friends Phantom NJ, Stronghold D&D, Live from the Apocalypse, Adventure Slang Productions, Folk and Myth, Disorderly Dice, House of Eidolons, Wanderers Havens, and Phoenix Wacky. We've got game masters from across the spectrum of awesomeness, and there's going to be a lot of games going on between now and the end of this fundraiser, which ends on the 24th of November. We are at $85, you guys. So I don't know, maybe we could hit $100 by the time we're done doing our outros. I don't know. It's possible. We really feel grateful that you are here with us. So thank you for being part of that. And thank you big time to Troll Lord Games, to Adventure Slang Productions, and to Limithron, who have donated hard copies of their core rule books for us to use as an incentive for you. Every $5 that you donate to the cause will give you basically like a raffle ticket. And at the end of the 20 days, so on the 24th of November, we will draw 3 winners, and you will get to have your very own copy of one of those 3 items. So thank you very much to those awesome sponsors. Let's go around the tabletop and do some outros here, and let's start this time with Grace. We'll go backwards. Grace, thank you again for being here. Really glad that you're able to do this, and I'm loving Laurel. Laurel is very cool.
Man, thank you. I'm loving Laurel too, learning more about her every minute. It's been a lot of fun. I'm very, very happy to be here. Hi, I work for Troll Lord Games. You can find us anywhere on the internet under the name Troll Lord Games, everywhere and all places. And say hi and engage and follow us, so I look like I'm good at my job.
Thank you, Laurel. Laurel, Grace, you. I really appreciated how you pulled together the Summer of Siege, and helped to coordinate all of that. And I had a chance to meet a lot of really great people that way. So you are building community and doing some awesome work at Troller Games. So we certainly appreciate you for that.
Community is more important now than ever. So thank you for being a part of it. We really appreciate it.
It really is. Thank you so much. We just got another donation in from Oakhide Partners LLC. Awesome. Yep. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Is that Torbin Oakhide?
Yes, it was.
Andy, thank you so much. Yep. We have another special hero points. That brings us up to 6. 6 hero points. And we are $5 away from 100, guys. $5. If you have the ability to do it, let's do it. Thank you, Grace. We'll go next to ScottishJeff. Jeff, thank you so much for last minute jumping in and playing with us. Always a joy. Thanks for being here.
No problem.
Appreciate you very much, buddy. Yeah,
I appreciate being able to take Kandor out of the keep once in a while, and Laurel is got some really dark vibes here and there,
that's for sure.
And I will have to say, the spell she casts is my all-time favorite. And Laurel, by the way, if I don't play, hopefully Shelly's feeling better next week. But yeah, my character's background is one of the things he did was he used to use that spell when the animals were out of the barn. He would use that spell to kill all the insects and all the creatures that were hiding in the barn.
That's so awesome.
So
it's a crazy spell that just does auto damage. Like there's no save or anything like that. It's brutal. I can't wait till someone uses it against you, Laurel.
No, come on, that'll never happen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Scottish
guys have clerics.
Really, yeah, they can do shit too. They're not all gobbies. What, Jeff? Thank you so much for being here. Let's go next to AndyG. Appreciate you, man, for being part of all the Greyhawk shenanigans that we've been doing for years and years now. Really appreciate it.
I've been having a blast. What's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as AndyG3D here on Twitch and other places around the internet. You can find me playing games here, usually on Tuesday nights, either in Dave's game or lately in Jose's game. We're having a lot of fun. And then, always hanging out over on our Discord server. So come check us out.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Andy. Appreciate you. Let's jump finally over to Mr. Vamp Wickman.
Hey, everybody. Chad here. I love doing anything to raise money for good causes. On the weekends, I'm at the bar raising money for all the charities that my group does. I'm a Make-A-Wish wish granter. We've raised so much money at GaryCon. I love this. Anything to help people in need, that really comes from my heart. So I'm thrilled to be here. Tomorrow I'll be on Stronghold D&D. I'm there every other Wednesday, and I'll be back here next Tuesday, and hopefully we'll be well over halfway to the 1,000 goal, and let's hope to hit that 1,000 goal and push it to 2.
Hell yeah, I love that. I love that motivation. Thank you for that, Chad. I do appreciate all the great fundraising and philanthropic work that you do. That's such a hard word to say, but it's meaningful. And yes, Stronghold D&D is also a big part of this, so excited to see how you can do some hustling over there as well, my friend. All right, guys, look, I appreciate the opportunity to run this game for you, and you guys are a blast. That was a lot of fun, really great role play, and very seamless entry for Laurel into the team, which I appreciate, because that's always kind of like awkward, like, all right, well, now we got to shoehorn this character in, but you guys are such pros, it was easy. So thank you for making my life a lot easier.
And that made me feel very welcome.
Well, that's great. Well, that's one thing that we want to make
Mhm.
sure that we do, and that's good to hear, because we do appreciate you spending time with us and being part of this. So, with all that said, we are going to go ahead and raid into Live from the Apocalypse. I believe they are, they're deep into some crazy sci-fi stuff, and they're also part of the fundraiser. So let's go ahead and give them some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love. Tell Will hello, and we will see you on Thursday this week for House of Eidolons with GM Penborough and the team, as we continue our it's gonna, I think we're all gonna die, but it's gonna be fun. So we'll see you on Thursday, and we'll find out what the hell happens. Thanks again, everybody. We are $5 away from 100. Feel free to make that my dream come true. $100. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time, and stick around for the raid. Bye bye.
Goodbye.